Welcome back, everybody, to your first, second, and yes, now your third stimulus check update. The relief package, the CARES package, EIDL, PPP 2.0, executive orders. We talk pretty much everything right here on the show. It is Thursday. Happy 4th? Happy February 4th to everybody out there. $72.7 billion of the $284.5 billion has been awarded in loans already. We're going to talk your PPP updates and timelines right after this. Come on and get your news. Welcome back, everybody. I am Edward Bilder. To all my loyal subscribers out there, welcome back for another video. And if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. We have a big episode we're going to talk about, specifically PPP on this episode. I'm going to break it out, make this one just unique, all about PPP. We're going to talk timeline and data. We're going to find out where that $72.7 billion has gone. We're going to talk PPP bugs and delays. All right, a lot of questions on Instagram about the certain delays. We're going to get into some updates on that. And then we're going to talk about what do you do once you've been funded, right? How do I pay myself? We're going to talk about after the funding, because a lot of you first draws are starting to see your funds. Even second draws are starting to see your funds. And you guys need to know what you need to do next so you get that money forgiven, right? That's the overall goal. To turn this into free money, you have to have it forgiven. We're going to talk after the funds. Don't forget about my next giveaway. If this video right here reaches 10,000 views, I'm going to pick one lucky subscriber from the comments below. Send a $100 stimulus check to. We're going to do this on every video. If a video hits 10,000 views, boom, we're sending out a $100 check. Now, once I hit my 10,000 subscriber, I'm sending out yet another $500. Can't wait. I just gave away $500 last Friday, and yes, that person was extremely excited. Going to make Dave Ramsey proud and pay off their credit card debt. So I hope you all do the same or go out and invest, right? Join the 800 others on Instagram right now, tracking play-by-play of EIDL, PPP, and now rental systems by state. Let's get into those details. All right, let's talk Turkey. Let's talk some numbers here, okay? Now, I announced on a video yesterday, I think it was, that the current PPP data is showing that there are 3 times the amount of applicants from the gig worker economy heading out right now trying to apply for these loans. So the data came in for the month of January. This is between the dates of January 11th and the 31st. 891,000 borrowers received $72.7 billion. Okay. Now, we know there's $284 billion, $284.5 billion, I think is the actual number. That makes up 26% used and consumed here in the first 20 or so days, right? First 20 days. Leading the charge, New York State, California, and Texas were the top borrowers. 51,000 loans, $5 billion went out to these states. Now, what's interesting is this is actually occurring at a much slower rate than the very first round of PPP. So the rounds that happened in April of last year, just in the first month, just in the first 2 weeks, not even the first month, but the first 2 weeks, $349 billion were exhausted. That was the entire program. Exhausted, right? And they actually had to refund the program, taking it up to like $564 billion, I think was the number, which resulted in $130 billion being left over. So if we are 3x this round, chances are we're going to use up all that money. And that's important. That's important because if we use it all up by March 31st with the 3x and there's still people applying for the program, it will force the hand that this needs to be included in the next stimulus bill. So big news. If we could use up all these funds, it'll have to force the hand that Congress should include this in the next package. And if that doesn't get you stressed out enough, it's probably time for life insurance. Swing by the description, grab that life insurance in as quickly as 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to talk PPP portal bugs and portal delays, all right? Biz2 Credit had a rather interesting bug. They decided they're going to give you double the amount of funds. So I really hope that for your sake, you did not go out and spend double of the funds. But yes, Biz2 Credit, if you were supposed to receive 20,000, you got 40,000. If you were supposed to receive 10,000, you got 20,000. And this happened to many people. My Instagram was going nuts of all the people telling me, wow, I thought I was only supposed to get 20. I got 40. So big issue. And because of that issue, they've gone and naturally they've drawn back the other half of that double. They've gone and corrected it. But they have slowed down on the issuance of their funds. So there's been a few delays on people getting funds through Biz2 Credit. Now, they've been lightning speed thus far. So far, they've been beating out like BlueVine, Lendio, and K Servicing on the current speed. Biz2 Credit has been averaging about 5 days, 24 hours or so after you submit your initial application. Your application reaches the SBA, and then, of course, 2 to 3, 4, 5, whatever, 10 days with the SBA in some cases. But right now the SBA is moving pretty smoothly. They're averaging right around 3 to 4 days. So that's pretty great, actually. So Biz2 Credit thus far has been the king, but except for the double funds issue. So I really hope you didn't go and spend that money. Now, K Servicing has the bug. It is still having the bug. And this is on the doc signing issues. I'm going to share a little screenshot right here. If you receive this email, so if you've gone and received this email that says your application has been approved by the SBA and it asks you to go through the portal to sign your documentation, and then you reach the portal and you get this other message right here, basically everything just explodes and it tells you that your funds are being held and blocked from you receiving them. You have to now call K Servicing, and I know they're probably one of the hardest ones to get on the phone for customer service, but they cannot find everybody who's experiencing this problem. So you have to call them and open a help ticket with them in order to get this achieved, because they have not yet been able to find all of these issues so that they can resolve it for you. So you're going to have to reach out to them. I know it's tough, but it's going to benefit you in the long run, because you're going to want to get your documents signed and get into the queue to start receiving your funds. You're right at the finish line here. So just go through the process. Let's try and get K Servicing on the phone and getting this thing resolved. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about protecting yourselves and protecting your information here just for a minute, because I am receiving comments and feedback on Instagram and on YouTube here that some of you are applying to what you believe are Paycheck Protection Program lenders, but you're actually applying for other purpose loans that are not affiliated in any way to the Paycheck Protection Program. And these are sites that are set up, you can almost see them. They're set up as like PPP.com, PPP2.com. They're sites like, maybe they're SBA sites, but they don't end in a .gov. These are not affiliated at all with the Paycheck Protection Program. They have disclaimers on their sites. When you first enter them, they'll start by saying, oh, hey, by the way, we are not in any way affiliated with the SBA. And that's not a lender that could even get you Paycheck Protection Program. If you notice that you go to K Servicing, Kabbage, Lendio, BlueVine, they don't start off by telling you that they are not affiliated with the SBA. All right, they take you straight into an application process because they're SBA approved lenders. I just want to read something to you from a website here that says this is key in understanding. If you go all the way to the bottom of the websites, you'll see information like we will try to connect you with a Paycheck Protection Program PPP lender, or this is the other small business lenders. Other small business lender does not mean a Paycheck Protection Program. So you could find yourself filling out what you believe is a Paycheck Protection Program loan, and find yourself being stuck into other loans, other credit decisions that are not forgivable. They're going to hit your credit. They're going to file a hard hit on your credit. They're going to issue you a loan. You're going to take the loan believing it's PPP, and it's not. So be very leery of that. Be very cautious. Go through some of the bigger sites. You could almost vet them yourselves, or try and stay with some of the influencers on YouTube who are talking about like Biz2 Credit, PayPal, some of the big names out there. BlueVine, K Servicing won't take you on any new loans, but Lendio will. And then you could go to US Bank, or you could go to some of the local branches even, if you just really don't trust these online fintechs. You don't want to get stuck in a bad situation. All right, let's get into the question as to what you do next once you get yourself funded, right? And the majority of these questions are coming from sole proprietors, because you guys know yourselves. If you're in the gig economy, if you're some kind of sole proprietor, just that business of one, you have no employees, right? You don't typically know how to pay yourself, right? You know, if you have employees, obviously you pay them through a payroll system of some sort. You're filing 941s, 940s, 944s. But if you're on that Schedule C and it's your profit and loss, basically any money you take in a month is like you're paying yourself, right? And it doesn't always come at the end of the week on a Friday. You know, it could come sporadically at all different times, right? Maybe you're an Uber Lyft driver, maybe you're managing Airbnbs, maybe you're doing something like that where your pay could come literally every day, right? So a lot of people are saying, I just got $10,000, I just got $20,000, I just got $5,000. Do I just take that as one lump sum and just pay myself now, right? Or, you know, what do I do? Well, let me lay it out for you just a little bit, right? We're going to step back a second and we're going to think about what happens next, right? Because right now you have a loan and you want that loan to be forgiven, okay? So naturally, you're going to have to apply with the checkbox for forgiveness. And while it's an easy form, at any point in time over the next 4 years, the SBA could call upon you and say, what did you do with that fund, right? Did you pay yourself the 60%? Did you use 40% of it on your expenses? How could you prove this? How could you show me that you proved this? And so we're going to just talk just for a basic minute. And this isn't accounting advice. This is just good business sense. We're just going to talk for just a moment here on what you can do to demonstrate that you spent it to pay yourself or spent it on some of your eligible expenses. You know, that other 40% that you could write off in your taxes later and get yourself even more money back. We could talk about that too, right? What I would recommend, and this is just me, this is what I do, okay? If I were taking on these funds, I would transfer it. I would take it into an account, right? And I would go and open up a separate account. And let's say on a weekly basis, I make $500 on my gig or my side hustle. Or maybe I make $1,000, whatever it is, right? Let's just say that's what you make on your side hustle. Each week on Friday, I would transfer $500 over, and I would do it for the 8-week or the 24-week covered period until all of that funding is exhausted. Basically, just take that amount, right, that 2.5 times, whatever it was, and divide it by the number of weeks in which you're going to pay yourself, right? Now, naturally, you're going to be still paying yourself from your other business. So if your side hustle is still paying you and then you have this extra fund coming, I mean, it's basically like having extra money, right? So while it is there to cover some of the issues that you faced in the past because you ran dry, suffered a loss in the past, it's there to pay you now for the current and the future for this 8 to 24 weeks. So naturally, just draw yourself out week at a time. It creates a nice paper trail and send it over to that other account so that other account is now yours, right? This side of the account where the funds went into, that's technically the business money, right? And now everything that goes over into that other account, that's technically daddy money. That's like your own money to go and spend, right? So you could take that money and you could go and invest, right? It's extra money. Maybe you want to swing by the description and check out Webull, Robinhood, and M1 Finance. They're all giving away all kinds of great sign-on bonuses just for opening up accounts, right? M1 Finance will give you $30 if you transfer 100. Webull will give you 4 free stocks valued up to $3,000 if you transfer $100. And Robinhood, they'll give you 1 free stock just for linking your bank account. So it could be worth checking them out in the description. Now you could go check out this video right here. I'll link it in the description above. It's titled. You could go out and find it too. It's titled "Forgiveness," right? You know, forgiveness is more than saying sorry. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. I love that movie at Christmas. But you can go check out forgiveness and understand what the 60-40 ratio is. Now, you could take your total loan amount. You could take your $10,000, divide it out by 60-40. That's $6,000 to pay yourself, or 20 if you're in 20,000. It's 12,000 to pay yourself. And then take that other 4,000 and use it on expenses. Okay, because you can now write those off later. All right, it's like you get even extra on top of the Paycheck Protection Program loan. You get to write it off a second time. Now your pay naturally you're going to get hit for 40% on your pay, or you know, because this isn't technically designed for passives. You're not going to be hitting it on 20%. You're going to be hitting like 40% of your pay for taxes. So you may want to take that 40% out, spend it on eligible expenses, so that you could then write that off later and basically get a double dip. You won't be paying down those expenses later. So something to consider. Check with your certified public accountant that's closest to your business. And they could kind of give you a general synopsis of what I just explained to you so that you can benefit the most out of this Paycheck Protection Program loan and the forgiveness portion of it, right? And keep those expenses separate so that when, if ever audited, you say, boom, there's my account, right? Each week you saw me paying myself for 8 weeks. And then here, these are my expenses that also came out of that account. So it just makes it nice and clean. I want to thank you all for joining me for another video here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to do your part. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing and commenting is the only way you can be entered into my giveaways. Remember, on this video, if it reaches 10,000 views, I'm going to send out a $100 stimulus check by picking a random comment of a subscriber in this video. And when I hit my 10,000th milestone, 10,000 subscribers, boom, another $500 check is coming out to some lucky subscriber out there. So join the 800 others tracking play-by-play of PPP, play-by-play of EIDL, of course, play-by-play of rental assistance by state. I thank you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.